Today, we're going to be talking about EOS, and oh man, is there so much going on in EOS right now. From all the way to really, really big stories on down to the little, we're going to be trying to cover it all. Well, at least some of it anyway, because the ecosystem has so much going on at any given time. It is actually kind of nuts to see how much EOS is growing, and inevitably some things we miss, so, apologies if I missed something really, really important. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. The big thing everyone is chattering about right now is REX, which is short for Resource Exchange. Now, REX is a marketplace made for the EOS blockchain that allows for the leasing of network resources in a risk-free way. It establishes a market where you can either borrow resources or lend out your available ones and then receive a return on those lent out resources on a 30-day loan basis. When doing this, you do retain full custody of your EOS and you do keep your EOS votes. REX will be held in maturity buckets that cannot be sold until, of course, they actually reach maturity. REX is a separate token which is used for the accounting of resources on the EOS network. Now, I did mention it is risk-free, right? Well, actually, your REX tokens will be redeemable for no less than the number of EOS that you put in. So, if you put in 100 EOS and no one uses your resources, then you get 100 EOS back. But if someone does want your REX, well, then maybe, for example, you will get back 105 EOS, which is, of course, very cool if you have these resources sitting there you're not using. Now, these numbers are just examples. Please do note that it appears that currently the rate of return is incredibly small, but that, of course, could change in the future. In order to be eligible to buy REX, a user must be voting for at least 21 block producers or delegating their vote out to a proxy. Then, when you stake your tokens, you enable developers or really anyone else who wants to use your unused resources, maybe some gaming addict, for example, to get out there and use that. Remember, when you're staking, you are basically claiming a percentage of the EOS network resources. That's whether you decide to use those resources or not. The not part is what REX is focusing on, as many users have large unused surpluses that could be conveniently used by others at a very low price. Thus, REX is trying to create an efficient on-chain marketplace for maximizing network resources. Honestly, anyone holding EOS right now should at least be aware of this or looking into it, as this can be a way to earn on your EOS holdings in a passive way, even if it is a very small percentage. And this is happening now, so you can already partake in this. There are already services like EOS Authority that make doing this as simple as a few button clicks. So check it out if you are an EOS holder. Also, the service is evidently in quite high demand, as already we have seen millions of EOS staked just in the first hours of the REX going live, and thousands of buyers lining up to get those cheap network resources. So that's pretty cool. Then, of course, aside from the REX, there are so many different projects that are being built on EOS right now, and the ecosystem, as I mentioned, is exploding. Now, we had one airdrop recently, which is called PEOS, or the private EOS. This is a token that is working on enabling private and untraceable transactions on the EOS main chain. And this is actually a really interesting idea, of course, as it is using Monero's ring signatures and ring confidential transactions and stealth addresses, all to try and make a private version of EOS. So basically combining Monero's technology with EOS's performance. Now, this came as an airdrop. It's already up like 10x, and there's a lot of different EOS tokens that are kind of following a similar pattern. It's also not listed on CoinMarketCap, and there are actually so many tokens right now on EOS that are not listed on CoinMarketCap or the other major sites, and that could be pretty interesting investments. I'm not saying PEOS is, I'm just saying that there's some things out there people aren't really talking about, and it's curious how so little is mentioned about everything that is happening in the EOS ecosystem with so many different projects being developed. And of course, then we have the rise of projects like Sense and of Karma, and I think this is a really positive sign that the blockchain ecosystem, the EOS blockchain ecosystem, is moving beyond gambling. But that we also still need to see some big users coming in, some actual numbers coming in, because even though EOS dApps are seeing more users and they're leaving Ethereum dApps in the dust, with the top dApp having 3 times more users than the next biggest Ethereum dApp. But this is 6,000 versus 2,000 users. Not big at all. We are still so early. When we have a dApp with 1 million daily users on any blockchain, then we can start talking about real momentum. Till then, we're early stages. Also, something interesting to note is that projects continue to move over to EOS from other chains. A project called Insight Network, for example, is leaving Ethereum, and the newest migrant is Effect AI. Remember, this is a decentralized AI platform. We covered this sometime back in 2018. So if you want to find some more information, you can go and check out the interview I did with Chris on that. Now, they are moving away from Neo, which is kind of losing its appeal as, you know, teams are reporting things like malfunctions and all these different sort of things. It's not really doing what they want it to do, and those things will not likely be addressed until 2020 when we have the Neo 3.0 upgrade, but then you have EOS, which is working today. Then, of course, we have things like Liquid dApps. This is a project backed by Bancor and their Liquid EOS block producer, which is aimed at making dApps awesome and ready for millions of users, and which will include things like, you know, web oracles and inter-blockchain communication, scheduled tasks, etc., all while trying to make it easier and cheaper for developers to actually launch their decentralized applications on EOS. Now, also, we do have Wax, which is a gaming platform, which is also jumping ship from Ethereum. Now, Wax is the worldwide asset exchange, and this will be building a peer-to-peer marketplace using a custom blockchain based on the EOS platform, basically running as a sister chain to EOS. Also, we have just seen Switch.io has announced that they do have plans to expand their decentralized exchange to EOS. I'm pretty excited about that one because I like using Switch.io. It's a great exchange. And of course, I am all about seeing increased support for decentralized exchanges, as well as seeing the rise of a healthy marketplace for EOS dApp tokens. Also, some big news is that EOSFINEX is out. Well, on a testnet anyway. Now, that actually happened more than a month ago, but EOSFINEX is a decentralized exchange for EOS that actually should be a massive boost for the ecosystem overall, especially as some of these smaller dexes that we do have already available just have really low liquidity. And of course, this will be a great complement to the bigger, small dexes like Bancor and Switch.io, but I think EOSFINEX could really change the game up. The main net for EOSFINEX is scheduled for May. Then there is something called the Metro hardware key, which is coming up. Now, this will be 100% open source and 100% built for EOS. Cool to see a specialized hardware wallet specifically targeting the EOS community, but honestly, I think that a universal one like Ledger is actually way cooler because it gives you, of course, much more flexibility in terms of the cryptocurrencies that you hold, but it's still a cool idea, and I'm sure that some of the die-hard EOS fans are actually going to love the Metro wallet, so nice to see that coming for them. Then, of course, we do have to mention the $1 billion EOS VC fund, which has been around for a while, but they have been funding some different things. Now, of course, we've seen projects like Everpedia being funded by them, but we also have High Fidelity, which is a VR-focused project, and Platin, which is a decentralized proof of location, and a recent one, Good Money, which is a digital banking platform service, among other projects which they have been funding. Having $1 billion in your war chest certainly allows for a lot of stuff to happen. I mean, that's the money, right? I think that VC fund will be very big for the ecosystem over time. Hopefully these early investments do pay good dividends for them. In fact, the entire EOS ecosystem is growing at a really big rate. I think at some point I should really do like a few more dApp reviews for EOS just to kind of explore that ecosystem a bit more. The big tease at the moment, though, is that Block 1 is promising a big announcement in June. Cool. Speculation, of course, is running wild. It's probably going to be proof of aliens. That's my guess personally, but they did make a trailer just to let us know a little more teasing about this, in which they revealed absolutely nothing, except that it will be happening. So stay tuned, I guess, but I would assume that they're probably going to be doing something related to the blockchain, not releasing proof of aliens, so, you know, there's that. Anyway, many are speculating that it will be the reveal of EOS. EOS is speculated to be EOS's answer for a social media platform, or as some people have called it, Steam on EOS. But I imagine that whatever they end up building will be absolutely cool. Maybe it'll be a universal basic income project. There has been some speculation about that too, but we'll just have to wait and see, guys. Till June, when hopefully they actually tell us what it is and they don't just say, hey, I know we made an announcement, you're going to make an announcement. Today we're going to make an announcement at a big press conference that there will be another announcement. Don't do that, guys. Actually tell us something. I hope they do. I'm sure they will. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see until that actually happens. Anyway, just some updates for you today on what has been going on in the EOS ecosystem. You guys will let me know what you think about any of these updates down below in the comment section. Quick reminder too that if you are new around here or you know someone who's getting into crypto, send them over to thecryptolark.org where they can find my 5-hour free course for beginners called Cryptocurrency Explained. Also great value for anyone who's been in the space a bit longer. And of course, you can also find that here on YouTube or on Udemy, looking up Cryptocurrency Explained. If you did enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up on it. You can always subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.